bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another Northern Colorado group right here. This is a race ride, and so we're going to break some of it down for you, and hopefully you can become a better cyclist and tell me how to become one. So you got 3 off the front right here. There is a big truck coming through. This group is so good at following traffic rules, so everyone waits because obviously it's not worth any kind of risk. But we do have a problem now. We got 3 off the front, and so everyone starts kind of looking around here, seeing who's going to do what. And so what I do know is there's a really strong crosswind from left to right. So my only goal here is to really gutter myself until someone takes off. So I'm just trying to find position at this point, and I'm slotted in. So I love life right now. This is all I really care about. I'm a little anxious, hoping someone will chase this down, that will start rotating. That would be my side coming through to do it the right way. But that's not really working out. And so I don't like that. So I'm gonna come to the outside here, even though to put myself in the wind, because I have a feeling people are gonna launch here pretty quick. So you got Curtis to the right there. He's really good, really smart rider. And I'm actually thinking if he's chill, I'm chill. So I'm just setting in. It's okay to look at the smarter guys in the ride and see what they're doing and just kind of follow suit if you're not quite sure what to do. But I do want to be ready to pounce on this move when it goes, and it goes. So there he goes up the front. You know, he wants to bridge that. I'm waiting kind of for one more grade. Now I'm just looking for my slot out. And you see Curtis go to the right, you see John go, you see Joel go. It's time to go. So I hit about my max watts-ish to get back on. It doesn't take a lot to get back on, but now I know everyone in the back is whiplashing from that. And having to hang on. And you'll see heart rate, again, I find my little spot to hang out. I'm gonna pay for this later and you're gonna see that. There's a lot to say. Look how far into the gutter I am. It is a lot closer than anyone else. And so I do skip around here a little bit. Just keep your eye on the map to the top left there, and that will tell you a lot of where we're at. But you're gonna see a lot of hand signals here and people telling you to scoot over here in a little bit. And so that should tell you to stay out of the gutter here. So I've never lost a water bottle before. My cages are super tight, and everyone's telling you to move over here. That's a real good sign to get over. So you see the hands, that you should get over. And I do here a little bit. And yep, here's some more traffic cones over there. Boom, I hit a rock that launches my water bottle. I slide out because I think it's my GoPro and I might have to go back for it. I feel it, it's still there. I ask, was that my water bottle? They say, yeah, dude. And so I slot back in here, and I have to catch up now. And so it's not a big deal, but we do get back in. And I'm behind Ben's wheel here. So he's a really smooth operator. How close you draft, I think, depends on how well you trust the guy in front of you. And so I give myself some room to kind of roll past, roll back. And I know they call that half wheeling. And it isn't as close as the GoPro is making it look, but it's still pretty close. But there are some people in this ride and other rides that I won't cross wheel at all because I know it's just not safe and they're kind of sketchy. And so, but if you don't know, it's safe just to stay all the way behind. So you're gonna see up here that I kind of pay the ultimate price for trying to stay in this gutter here. And I don't know where the brake is at this point, but you're gonna see a bunch of things kind of go wrong at once here. And so, but right now I'm just setting in. So I'm in the shoulder, I go to look out. It looks like we have a pretty good group. Boom, no shoulder, I am off the road. And I am trying just to keep the bike up right now. And I can feel it pulling towards those power lines. And so I'm just leaning the bike. If you look, we were at 30 miles an hour when I came off here. And we recover. I am at 14, all said and done. So I have to chase back on here pretty hard. There is a stop sign up a little bit. I know I have to catch him before that stop sign. Because if I have to get stopped at traffic, we're about to go into a headwind, and I am not able to catch on, essentially. And so I am putting out all the watts I have right now to get back on. And this is really early in the ride to be having to put out this kind of power. This is the power you need to hang on or to put in a move at the end to hurt everyone. You're not supposed to spend this right here 4, 5, 6 minutes in. I think we're further in than that. We're about 5 miles. And here's a fella, he came off, I don't know why. Maybe just cut out in the crosswinds a little bit. But I'm chugging pretty hard to get back on. You can see they are mushroomed out just a little bit, and so that tells me that they have slowed down to get ready for the stop sign up here, and there isn't any traffic behind them. So this is kind of giving me a chance to get back on, but it's still taking a pretty deep dig for me to get back on. Like I said, I'm coasting myself here at 28 miles an hour into a crosswind. So yeah, that's basically all there is here, is me just chasing on. And spoiler alert, I do get back on. It takes about all my effort though, and you're gonna see me really pay for it later on. So the point of me going through this is just so that we can learn how to do these things a little better, become a better cyclist. A lot of this, every single ride of these is data collection. And so you just learn from every single thing. I have some of these rides where I do really, really good, and I feel like I kind of take it to the group. I have other ones like this where I feel like I'm fighting for dear life. There's always things to go back and learn from. And the goal for me is to race eventually. I did do a couple races last year. I'm 3 years into this. I know, and I'm gonna skip here. So if you see I skipped that little chunk of the road, we're now heading eastbound here. Again, I want you to watch the side of the road and the guttering here. So I'm not willing to get like super tight against that curb anymore, because with no shoulder, I've just kind of learned my lesson. And boom, 1, 2, 3, 1 flat tire, 2 flat tire. You'll see Curtis shaking his head because he got caught in that pothole. No one pointed it out. Flat tire. So you got 3 flat tires there. So that just tells you if you don't really know the roads that well, there's some shoulders around town that I know, that I just trust. If you don't know, it's pretty safe to give yourself a pretty good shoulder there. But what I want to talk about here are these little rollers, and they're not that steep. You see 4 or 5% and you're over them. But I see a lot of people on these coasting on the downhills and then trying to power up. Well, I'm a little bit of a fat guy, and so I build my speed on the downhills a little bit. For a cyclist, I'm fat. So we get to the top here. You see that it goes down, and you're gonna see people are going for position a little bit here, and you have a real nice fella here pointing out every little thing, which is good after the flats. You see why he's doing that. Real nice. But everyone's coasting here. Look, nobody's pedaling. So I'm gonna pedal through this downhill. I'm gonna split this little hill in half. And you see the position I make up here. And so I am coming right up. Now everyone that up here, if you've done this ride enough, you know who the heavy hitters are and who the smart riders are and the guys who just aren't gonna drop. That is everyone from here up, essentially, every single week. And so this is where you really wanna be in this ride, is up here. And John lets me slot in. Yeah, you know, it's funny that they always say be second to 8th wheel or second to 10th. Well, if there's 35 guys like it is here, a majority of that isn't in that group right there. And so you do have to learn how to get a wheel, hold and hold your position. And that's a real thing. I don't think this ride is as aggressive as a race. But in fact, I know it's not, but you still have to hold your wheel. And so I'm gonna skip this here because it's a lot of cussing and frustration, but I dropped my chain, so I am off the back again. And you see the group up here, and I am chasing on one more time. So I can't put out the 500, 600, 400 watt dig that I did the first time, so I just set in steady. When you train intervals, you know your power. I know what my 5-minute power is. I know what my 2.5-minute power is. I know what my 10-minute power is. And that really helps you to see these gaps, estimate the time, and then know what kind of power, the least amount of power that you can put out to hold on to these. Yeah. So here I am, I chase on. I'm gonna plug in my computer real quick since it's about to die. Don't mind the noise or the crotch shot. And yeah, I fast forward through some of this here. Just because there's really not a lot to watch. It's just me holding on. I did chase back on. Real pro YouTuber here with plugging in the computer and all of that. I'll get better. But yeah, the reason we're doing these channels, like I said, I want to document my progress and my learning curves. And then just to see if there's some fun videos that we can make that you can actually learn something from. But so if you look at this road up here, I think we're, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 miles in. Now, I skipped a lot here. But basically, I'm in the back. I'm sick of being in the back. This is a strong headwind. A little bit right to left, but mostly headwind here. And I'm trying to slot in here. The guy next to me, like I can see his shadow. His like elbows are out and he's leaning. And usually that's not necessary for a group ride, but you know what? If someone's doing that, you got two choices. You can get out of the way. Love you, hon. You got two choices to get out of the way or to shoulder and headbutt back. And so I just get out of the way here. But I really, when you feel this anxious for no reason, you got to learn just to set it. This is where I struggle. I don't like where I am. So what do? Here again, I'm getting bored. I don't like my position. I'm putting myself out in the wind. I'm getting anxious. And so I say that's enough. I hit 400 or 500 watts and move myself up to the front here. Now this is where just being a bad racing cycling group rider is. I feel pressure that's not actually there. And I want to explain that right here. So I'm coming through. So the last 8 guys I passed are guys who can crush me. Like, this isn't a fair fight. But I want to bridge to this gap up here. Now these are 2 different teams. This is a race simulation ride. I have no business coming through because my goal isn't to help sustain this breakaway. And I think everyone jumped on my wheel anyways. And so all I had to do was set in the back there and slot in. But you feel this pressure not to be a leech. And so I come through. I take my pull here. I'm not trying to cook it too hard. I'm trying to get them to come through. I realize no one's coming through. And these seconds feel like eternity up here. So I put in a pretty big dig, so I make sure I take my turn here. Look, I mean, I'm at 300 watts at 23 miles an hour. That tells you the headwind and it's a little bit uphill. I mean, earlier you saw that get me 28 miles an hour. And so you can see the condition. Well, I pull off here because I got nothing left. But I maybe dropped down too much speed. You see that's 20, I shaved off 3 miles an hour. And so now I'm trying to grab a wheel here. I'm letting them come through. And this is what, Joel is smart right here. He knows he doesn't want to go to the front of that. And so he just comes over and waves people through. I don't have that confidence yet to do that. I don't know why. And that's just something you're gonna have to build. I know this sport's a cheeky sport. I mean, it's European based, right? And so it's like soccer, where you fall on purpose and act like you're hurt when you're not. So anyways, I am trying now to find a spot, slot in. My heart rate, this is that heart rate that I have 20 seconds at. My max is 179, and that's what I can hold for a few seconds. But the power's not dropping, there's no recovery. I am maxing out here, and I'm getting dropped. So it's adios amigos. I'm off the back of the ride. Between dropping my chain, going off. So basically, I just got owned by the wind all day is what happened. I made a bigger fuss out of it than what it is and played the wind more than the ride. Fell off that one time, dropped my chain. So I am completely off here. There's 3 or 4 other guys. I think 3 other guys that come off here. And so we're gonna catch up to one of them here. Me and him take a shortcut to get back on the ride. And I'm gonna show you who's left. I'm so sorry I don't have the footage of it because it looks like it was a hammer fest. I think right when I got dropped was when this ride really took off and when the heavy hitters started putting in their licks. But you see another dead body here, and there's 1 or 2 more up the road up there. So this is us. You see my heart rate still not really recovered. I'm not trying to stop completely. I'm just trying to recover. But at not the highest watts. So I'm doing what I can, dragging my fat butt up this hill. We catch everyone that gets dropped, we bring it back. I got Kevin here now on my wheel, and he's real awesome because he doesn't sit there for long. He comes right through the second. It's just a second that you need. You just need to catch your breath. Just drop your heart rate a little bit. But you have that red line, and when it hits, that's it. And it may only be for 30 seconds, but it's enough to dislodge you from the group, and you're never getting back on. So you see Kevin comes right through here, right away. He's on the First City team. In the summertime, he's a super heavy hitter. So we take the shortcut to get back on. There's a stop sign up here, so I am just coasting a little bit. And you're gonna see what's left of that group right here. This is all that's left of that huge group. That's it. That's all. They dislodged everybody else. And by a big chunk. That's Kevin, who I got dropped with, so we rolled back together. That's our group here. And I leave the camera on here at the stop sign because I want to show you the gap they put in, at 6-7 miles, not long. But take one out of there because that's Kevin. That group is all that's left. And the guys behind him aren't slow guys. I mean, it's cat 1, 2, 3 all the way through. And so they're sitting there hanging out. You're gonna see how long it takes for the next guys to get on. If I had Jeopardy music, I'd play it. Fortunately, I don't. And yeah, the Matador team, the black kits with the white Matador and the baby blue highlights, and the deep section wheels, just like that guy right there. Those are the guys that bust you wide open. And here's finally the second group, a little bit of them. So it's finally clear. We go, there's another stop sign just right up here, and I skipped through that too, but they had to wait there for like 5 or 6 cars. Now everyone got back on. So I guess that's the big difference between a real race and this group ride, obviously, is that you do have opportunities at lights and you can take shortcuts to get back on. So I don't think I got dropped for lack of fitness. I definitely think I got dropped for stupid riding. Which is a theme. My legs are pretty decently strong, and then there's a little uphill here that you got to punch up. If not, you'll get dropped. I've been dropped here before in the past. And yeah, hopefully we can go through some training videos as well. When you first start riding, you basically go as fast as you can, as long as you can. You hit your 30-mile ride, and then your 50-mile ride, and then your 80-mile ride. But eventually you need to start doing some interval training to build up the power to be able to sustain these attacks and put some out yourself. And I can go through some of the drills that have really worked for me and have showed really instant progress, essentially. And some of them that I didn't think worked so well. And it's to each their own and what kind of skill you want built. But we can go through those, and we're going to do a lot of racing this year. And hopefully we can learn from those videos as well. There is a fun little sprint at the end of this video here, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy this video. If you have any questions or concerns, just let me know, and I'll be happy to do what I can. Subscribe and like and do the things that you do to YouTube videos. Later.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be.